Hey, welcome to Clear Lake Drive. It's Saturday, the 27th of April, and right around 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm going to take up a subject here that has been covered 1,000 times plus over and over by so many people, it isn't almost worth even saying anything about it. But I have a view on it, and I think it's purposeful, and it's probably the most non-toxic way to do this. I guess the reality here is that it's the chemical that I use is about as clean as you can get. It's a degreaser. I've been using it for decades. I use it because it's EPA listed as non-toxic. Toxic. It still smells a lot like windshield wiper fluid, but it does work extremely well. I've cleaned the decks with it, the windows without streaking, the wheels and the tires on the car, sprayed it on dirty engines and hosed it off with a hose. It really will do almost anything that the really nasty toxic stuff will do. And I use it on the house because it doesn't harm the flowers, doesn't kill the grass. I wouldn't drink it. I would definitely not drink it, but it's supposed to be safe and says non-toxic, but it comes with a warning label that, like your medicine, that's going to tell you everything that you should not do with it because it's just common sense. The product that I use, and I do not get paid for using this. The only reason I'm using it is because I have for years and it works. I've mentioned it on a couple of live streams before, but the product is Simple Green. And it says right there, non-toxic formula, EPA Safer Product Standards code and sticker on it. It has what we'll call all the first aid treatment warnings that you would expect, all the uses. I underlined that because, let's face it, any washable surfaces pretty much is any. The dosage for it, shall we say, I mixed it up at the 10-to-1. And I've used that quite often. It does what it needs to do. Do I condone cleaning coins? No, I do not, actually. I do believe that coins that are tarnished and nasty and generally have no value other than their silver content or their face value, do what you want. Have at it. But older coins, silver coins that are antiqued in any way on their own, I would never do that. Some things, if you're a metal detector guy, you're going to have to clean the stuff that you get a little bit. They clean dinosaur bones. They clean ancient coins. Everything that they dig up gets cleaned, but it's how you clean it and how rough are you on it. I am not a big fan of anything abrasive. I would never clean a proof coin for any reason. I just doesn't make any sense to me. The only thing that I would clean and why I'm doing this video is my 90% or my 80% constitutionals. Some of the stuff when you buy it is just disgustingly dirty. Who knows what's on it? I got a quarter from the dollar bill store the other day that had a petrified raisin attached to it. At least I think it was a raisin. I took it off of there, but the constitutional, I just don't like having it all nasty and dirty, and I like having it shiny and clean. And you're not going to hurt it any doing what I'm doing to it. And actually, it works really, really well. And to make the point clear, what I've got here is $10 worth of quarters. And I've divvied them all up. They're all dates, 60s and 50s. There's some 30s in there. The ones in the center are the dirtiest, and they are almost all the oldest. The ones on the right are 64s, and those are still pretty shiny. I'll show you individually a good representation. That's what the single ones are out in front of each pile, going from really nice to not so really nice to just kind of grungy. I've had some that are way worse than these, but you buy a roll, it comes in the mail, this is what you get. You take what you got. So, for starters, the cleaner 64s, let me find a nice focus point here. There we go. You got a little bit of scuffing on them, but for the most part, all of these in the pile look just like this. Got some nice shine to it still, but that's not overly shiny. The ones next at bat, well, clearly they're looking a little rough for the wear. And so we can keep track of which ones are which. This one, because it doesn't matter, and I do not know. I've never tried putting a magic marker mark on any of them to see if this will take it off. So this is an experiment for all of us. But the eagle on the back has a black dot on his chest. And the really dirty ones, and most of these are dirtier than this. Washington's got an earring or an earplug, but this is a pretty good representation of what these other coins look like. And that's some garbage toning, who knows, probably not natural. But if the dots stay, we'll be able to keep track of what these look like before they went in. Now I've mixed it up, like I've said, 10-1. I use my trusty Las Vegas shot glass. Was thinking about Liberty Bleeds today. This was actually a gift from someone who went to Vegas. I don't know if that was what he had in mind, but he thought I'd appreciate that, and I found the humor in it. To get the 10 ounces, your standard kitchen measuring cup. And simple green is green. So for the experiment, what we'll do is I'm going to throw these in here. And actually, I'm going to take this over out of the camera's view and put them in it. The wife was not trusting me to not spill something on her oak dining room table. So happy wife, happy life. And it's not always happy, but it's been happier than most, I'd say. And I just made a little splash. But I'm going to let those sit because each one of the, I'm sure you saw them in the background, the containers are marked. And I'm going to load this one up. And these are the nasty ones. The game plan is the nastiest of them all. Oops, see, I got a drop on there. Shame on me. It's not going to do anything. The nasty ones, I'm going to leave in here. I'll kind of stir them around a little bit on and off, but until 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. We'll let them sit for a whole 24 hours. And then we'll come back to it. I must clean up my mess. There we go. Yep, that's still wet. These, the ones that are dirty but not really bad, these I'll do tonight around 10 p.m. Now my time scheduling is Central Daylight Time because that's where we're at today. So that'll give you an idea of how long each one of these coins were sitting in the fluid that I have mixed up for them. And the ones that I did first, after I tidy up my little mess here. And I actually have a small towel. We'll dry that off. She's not looking over my shoulder, so I didn't hear any screaming, but there you go. You can't tell that I spilled anything. Now, what we'll do is we'll take just the one that I have the coins in that were the cleanest, the regular plain 64s. We'll leave the dirty and the really dirty to sit. And I'll show you exactly what I will do before, whoop, we're on a tripod here. I could use the wife as a photographer, but she's on the phone with someone, so she's basically been banned to the outside. And this is, we'll see what these look like. I'm pretty sure. I've never done them where I just got them wet. I'm just going to kind of rub them around. But I think already, look at the shine. Look at that shine. Just going to swirl them around. There is a toothbrush, a very soft toothbrush. And I will use the toothbrush on the other two because it gets the reeded edges clean. But that should be enough. I'll take them out. Let's get some paper towel here. Now rinse them. Instructions clearly state that absolutely no residue is left after the rinse. Take special note, I did not brush these. I did nothing to them. I think you can see the rims shining from there. And you'll be able to feel they're clean. There's like, the metal is just squeaky clean. And I think you're going to be extremely surprised by this. What'll be even more surprising is when you see the other ones. I'll dry my hands off a bit here. And I can't say what they looked like when they were new, but we are in a completely different light setting here. Why don't we go back to where we were, because the light is better there. Those things are almost hurting my eyes. I think it's easy to see why I like my coins clean. Yes. I have to chuckle even though they come out like this every time. And I know some people will be really tempted to use this procedure on other coins. I've cleaned pennies, and yes, and see that one's marred up just like the other one was. And I'll mark that one. I'll bet that'll take the rest of that off if it sits overnight. But no polishing. Well, all I can say now is we'll see you later. That one isn't quite as shiny as the rest, and that's got some toning on it. So there's two of them that were a little bit on the dirty side. But all the rest of them are just, well, there's another one. Got a little bit. That one's actually worn pretty good. Got a nice gouge there. But the nice thing is, now they're clean enough I can look through strike throughs and look for small die cracks. Well, it could be a gouge or it could be a die crack. Well, there you have it. Give it a try if you think it'll work for you. It has been working for me for a long, long time. And you'll see me again tonight. Well, it will actually be tonight here. It'll probably be tomorrow night by the time you see this. And 24 hours round away with the other one, with the dirtiest of the dirties. I can almost guarantee you that the dirtiest of the dirties will come out like that. Have a good one.